So we're going to walk you through how you use 413cares.org to do a search for a specific service that you might be looking for. So you can search for services for yourself, your family members. You might be a helper and work at a community-based organization as a community health worker or a social worker or a case manager, care coordinator, and you might be looking for services and programs for a particular patient or person you're working with in the community. So all you have to do is go to 413cares.org, and at the top of our website here, you see the search widget. So you need to enter a keyword or the program name and the zip code. You want to make sure that you're going to put in a zip code that is relevant for the person you're helping. So you don't want to put in your own zip code if you're helping somebody else. You want to make sure you're going to put in their zip code or where you are needing to find that service, because the search is going to bring up programs most relevant to the zip code you enter and the keyword you enter. So we know that food is one of the main needs in our community. We see people searching for food a lot. So I'm just going to put in food as a keyword, and I'm going to do a Holyoke zip code, and we'll see what comes up for food. We do partner with 211 on this. They are able to provide assistance to folks and have somebody actually to talk to. We at 413Cares don't have a person that can pick up the phone to help you find a program that you need. So if you need one-to-one support on help getting connected to a program, definitely call 211. But we cannot, our platform really is doing the online search. We don't have the one-to-one capacity to offer personal assistance. So as you can see here, you can see there's 136 programs that came up for my search for food using the Holyoke zip code 01040. So we could scroll through and look at all the results, but you might want to filter the results based on personal filters for the person you're helping or for yourself. That might eliminate some programs you wouldn't be eligible for. There's also program filters. So you might want to narrow it down based on the languages that are spoken or when it's available. There's also income eligibility. So some programs are only eligible if you meet a certain income bracket. So those are some ways to filter the results. But as I said, the ones that come to the top are going to be the most relevant for the keyword and the zip code that you used. If you need to do another search, let's say you now had to look for
mental health or
mental health, and you needed a new zip code, you would put in the zip code first and then a new keyword up here. Or you could use these really helpful categories that offer some of the main types of searches we see. So in health, you'll see there's a lot here, from everything from addiction recovery, dental care, end of life care, health education, paying for health care, medical care, and then we find mental health care here, and lots of other subcategories and tags that you could click on to narrow your search of what type of mental health care you are looking for. So that's just another way to find programs and services. If I switched over to something in mental health, it's going to stick with the Holyoke zip code that I've entered, unless I switched the zip code by putting in a new one up here in this search bar. What's also great about this platform, so this is the Find Help platform, but 413Cares again is the locally curated and branded version of Find Help. So we are able to add more programs onto 413Cares than what Find Help might normally include. So an example of that might be summer camps because we know that's a need for parents and kids in the summer to have activities, get their kids into activities in the summer, but that might be outside of the low and reduced cost parameters that Find Help has to list programs on their site. So 413 Cares is able to add additional programs as we see that's needed in our community. But what's great is that Find Help also has numerous languages that you can translate the whole entire website into. So if you're sitting down with someone who speaks Spanish, you can get this translated all into Spanish and go through that information with them. So let's look at what came up for food when I did the search for food in the Holyoke area. So as I said, there's a lot of programs here, and you might want to scroll through and figure out which ones might be most relevant for you or the person you're helping. Each program is going to have a program card. So for the brown bag program for elders, this is the program card that has a snippet of information of what the program is, who it serves. But then I can also click this down arrow for more information and read more about the eligibility. So this program is going to serve people that are older than 54 years old. There might be income requirements. The program card is also going to have information on availability. For some programs, especially certain housing programs, they might have a wait list. So it might say wait list here or temporarily closed. And then you'll find more description, contact information, the languages that are spoken, links to websites and social media, the location and hours that they're open. So you'll see there's a couple different locations here. So some really helpful information about the program.
I think the great thing also about this is it's claimed. So everything is being monitored and updated.
Right. So you see this arrow in the top corner of the program card, this little check mark. Actually, it's not an arrow, it's a check mark. This means that the program is claimed, like Kimberly's saying. So that means someone at the program is helping to keep this information up to date. So as the availability changes, maybe their hours change, they can go in and update that information. What's also helpful to know is that the folks that Find Help also go and update every program card twice a year using the information that they can access on websites and other sources of information for the program. But it's really great, and what Kimberly and I and others at 413 Cares are trying to do is get all of our local organizations and programs claimed so that the organization is connected to it and can control what is being listed and how people can take next steps with the program. There's some other great tools that you can use to help share and engage with this information. So what I really want to recommend to everybody is to create a login. You'll see up here where my name is at the very top of the website that I'm already logged into my account. This is all entirely free. You don't have to give the site any great personal information to create an account. But I really recommend everybody create an account because it allows you to access some of the other tools you can use to interact with this information and the programs. So if I wasn't logged in, it would prompt me to log in up here and create an account. In doing so once you're logged in, you can save this program. So let's say I do work with older adults a lot, and this is a really great program that I'm often connecting them with. Maybe I want to save that so I'm not always having to do a search. And it gets saved into my saved favorites in my account. And those can be accessed up here where it says saved favorites. It will take you to all the programs that you've saved. But I can save it. I can even organize my saved programs into different folders by different topics, whatever makes the most sense for you in your organization. You can also share this program card information via email or text or even on Facebook. So I can put in a person's email or phone number if I wanted to do text. I could put in a little message if I'm doing the email about why I'm sending it. And I can choose the language that I want to send it in. So let's say I'm going to send it in Hindi, and I can also do the same if I'm going to send it as a text. I can change the language. And that's really great if you're working with people that do speak another language and it's easier for them to understand their own language rather than English. And what's really great is when this information is sent to them, there's a link that's provided to the program so that they can get more information. And that will be that whole, that link in the site it takes them to will be in the language that you designate. So that's really helpful for folks in sharing information about programs they might be eligible for or be useful for them. When you're logged into your account, you can also make notes. So you can rate the program, or you can save a note about the program. And this is not ever public facing. So not anyone who is looking at this program card would never see your notes. This is purely for yourself. So let's say I called this program and spoke to Susie, and she's the go-to person for making sure that the older adults I work with are connected and signed up for the meals. Maybe I want to talk to Susie in her direct phone number or something like that. So I save that for myself, or I can share it with a group that I've created on 413Cares. So if you're interested in creating a group that maybe is a group of your colleagues or other people you're working with and want to share information with each other, Kimberly and I can help you get that set up. So we would be the people to contact to help you to take those next steps. Lastly, I wanted to just say that you can suggest edits to this program card. So there might be a slight change that hasn't been updated yet. Maybe they're only open 9 to 4, or they have a new location, or maybe the link to their website wasn't working. You could send a message to the folks at Find Help who help manage the program cards and suggest an edit, and they can look into it and make sure it's corrected. So that's really great because this is a community site for the more people that are working on it and making suggestions and using it, the better this platform is going to be, and the more up to date it will be. So in the next tutorial, we'll go through how you would take next steps to get connected to a program such as this, and walk you through that process of making a referral.